Guess who's back, back? It's the Wasp and Ant-Man and Wasp and the other Ant-Man. Oh, and I'm back too. You guys ready for another review on another movie? Yeah, here we go. Ant-Man and the Wasp non-spoiler trailer coming up. Here we go, let's go! The brand new. It's not really new. It's still kind of new. Anyways, everybody, so this is a review on the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp that just came out July 6th, 2018. I saw the movie. You know I love Marvel. I mean, come on. It's just... Oh, what's that? Oh, speaking of... So this new setup, okay. Decided to make it more enclosed, get a little bit more of my fan stuff in there. You guys can see them, but I got some pretty cool. So, anyways, I'm going to stop talking about that stuff. So today is a review on Ant-Man and the Wasp. I saw the movie last night with my buddy. Super excited to see it. You know, everything Marvel related, they all connect somehow. And of course, you go into this movie expecting some answers to Infinity War. You kind of get some, you kind of don't. Not really anything at all. But still, the idea behind everything that happens in the movie was really cool. And I was really excited to see what they were going to do as far as the continuation goes in the story and the connection to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's go ahead and talk about the movie real quick. Here we go. Alright, so Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we see Peyton Reed coming back as director. Paul Rudd is obviously coming back as Scott Lang / Ant-Man. We have Evangeline Lilly who's coming back as Wasp. And then we have Michael Douglas coming back. Michael Pena coming back. Michelle Pfeiffer's playing the mom, which is Janet Van Dyne. A lot of people coming back to play their roles. And then we got a bunch of new characters coming back. So something I was super excited about when we saw the trailer back in whenever we saw it was Lawrence Fishburne's character as Bill Foster. And in the movie, in the trailers actually, we find out that his code name was Goliath. Now, if you know what Goliath was in the comic books, we know that he can grow super big. And while Hank Pym can grow small, he can also grow big as well. But Goliath can only grow big. And that was really cool to see that little nod to that character. Maybe we'll get a suit in future films, because he's not, I mean, we don't know yet. It'd be cool to see Goliath in a movie, but I don't know. So that was a new character we did get. And it was really cool to see that they are still adding new features and new characters and new connections, new tags, new little Easter eggs into these movies, because there's so much lore to go off of from the comic books. So super excited to see all that. Now let's talk about the actual movie itself. So first off, I'm going to start off with what I really enjoyed about the movie. I do have some cons. I have a list of each one. I'm going to go off with the pros. So pros, I love the humor. So the movie was hilarious. I like this humor better than I like Guardians of the Galaxy and both 1 and 2 and Thor Ragnarok. So the way that this movie, or the humor in this movie, flowed together was so much more natural than you can see in Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy. It just fit well together, and it was something that you can do with just a small cast of people. I mean, you have Guardians of the Galaxy who kind of play off each other's humor or each other's attributes, and that's how that humor works. Thor Ragnarok was just, like my buddy Chris had said, it was just the barf humor on that movie. So, but Ant-Man and the Wasp does comedy a lot better than both those movies do, in my opinion. So, something else I really enjoyed about this movie was the action. The action was so... It was actiony. It's bad. But the action was so great. The way that they incorporate the shrinking and the growing and the fighting styles between both Wasp and Ant-Man into this movie, it plays very well together. And the way that they use their powers in different ways, it's creative, it's innovative. And both Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly do very great jobs at doing those parts. And speaking of constantly growing and shrinking, the effects of this movie were astoundingly well done. I mean, you have Paul Rudd who's going from small to big to small, and Evangeline Lilly who is constantly going from her normal size to her small size again. And that's just because, you know, that's the only way she can use her wings, and there's a bunch of other different aspects of her powers that we see throughout the movie. But the effects are just so well done. They just flow together. You don't see any choppiness. You don't think there's nothing that's bringing you out of this movie with the effects. Going off of that, de-aging, man. So we have heard a lot about de-aging technology in the movie industry, especially lately, but they used de-aging technology in this movie so well. And I was during the movie, there's two characters in particular that they de-age, and both times they showed those characters, I turned to my buddy Chris and I was like, dude, that's them. Like, those, they look good. Like, it was crazy. It blows your mind, the amount of technology, or the amount of effects and the amount of things that technology can do nowadays. And it's so great to see that in a movie, and it's well done, and it takes time, and it's not just rushed. It was my favorite part of this movie, probably by far. Now, obviously, we have questions from Infinity War that kind of play into Ant-Man, because if you guys haven't seen Infinity War, Ant-Man is not in there. No, he's not super microscopic. You can't not see it. Well, technically. So anyways, there are obviously questions of where's Ant-Man, and they even asked that question during the trailers when we saw the marketing campaign a couple months ago. So the whole thing is like, where is Ant-Man? Why is he not fighting Thanos with the Avengers? We get an answer in this movie. I'm going to tell you right now, so it's not a spoiler, but you know it's coming. There's going to be an answer. There has to be an answer. They wouldn't just leave us hanging. So we get an answer in the movie. To me, the answer is satisfactory. It's not super, like, it's plausible. Like, the reason being behind it is not just some kind of reason just to throw it in there, but it makes sense why that is the reason that he is not with the Avengers in Infinity War. So that, to me, was satisfactory. Going forward as well, obviously we know what happens at the end of Infinity War, so what's going to happen at the end of Ant-Man. So you have to remember that Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place in San Francisco, just like the first one did. So it's on the completely different side of the galaxy, for one, but also outside of the world. So we have Ant-Man and the Wasp taking place in San Francisco and California, and most of the Avengers are taking place in New York, and the battle in Infinity War actually takes place in Wakanda. So definitely different parts of the world, different events are happening. So while I'm not going to spoil anything else, but at the end of the movie, the post-credit scene, there's 2 post-credit scenes, guys, so if you guys check out this movie, it's 2 of them. Stay for both of them, because the last one, the very end of the credits, is the best one. It was great. It's a great post-credit scene. Both of them are. So we know what happens at the end of Infinity War. People turn to dust. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry. It's made a lot of money. Go see the movie. So everybody turns to dust, and we know that something's going to happen at the end of this one as well. So people turn to dust at the end of the movie, and I called what was going to happen at the end of the movie as soon as I saw the scene. So the scene was set up, and I was like, Chris, yo, this is going to happen, this, and it happened. I'm a genius, I don't know what to say. So that fits very well. I really enjoyed the way that this movie, just from one film to the next film, played into each other, and the continuation between the last movie, which I think was Civil War, is supposed to be a sequel to Civil War. So that continuation there fits very well. Super glad that they didn't just kind of shoehorn something in to make it fit. It fits on its own. So it was great. I loved the writing on that and the script, and that worked well. Now, last thing I want to say about my pros and what I really enjoyed about this movie was that Paul Rudd, he is born to play Scott Lang, man. I mean, he's not the most ripped, and Scott Lang isn't like a super buff, he's not a buff character. He's a scrawny little guy who can sometimes shrink and sometimes go. So, Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, they're the same person to me. It's the same way that you see Chris Hemsworth and Thor. I mean, those two that character and that actor, they are one, and they act like one, and it's like they become one, and it's gone beyond method acting, and it's fits so well into their lifestyle, and I just love seeing Paul Rudd play this character. So I'm super excited anytime he is going to play Ant-Man. Love him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Super glad he joined. Can't wait to see what he comes up with next. So speaking of next, we're going to go into my cons, the things I didn't really enjoy about the movie, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not my favorite Marvel movie. This is really, it honestly was slightly a disappointment because I was expecting so much more, and I don't think I got what I wanted to see. So Chris and I talked a lot about the tone of the movie and how the tone of Ant-Man movies, especially the first, or going back to the first one as well, that they are very different in tone from the rest of the Marvel movies, which makes sense because, the other Marvel movies have different plots, different storylines, different genres basically, or subgenres, but Ant-Man, it's based on Ant-Man, and he's kind of doing things on his own. He doesn't have the power to call upon the other Avengers and things like that, but I was telling Chris too that the fact that this movie and the first one take place in San Francisco is the fact that they're separated from everything that's going on with the Avengers in New York and on the other side of the country and the other side of the world too in Wakanda. So completely different tone. I don't think it fit well with the rest of the movies though. So yeah, there's a different tone, but I feel like this could be a standalone movie in its own universe, in my opinion. Like it to me, it's just it was a little off. It felt off. It felt like it was an Ant-Man movie, which is great, but we also know that these movies need to connect to the rest of the universe in some way. So to me, it didn't really connect that well, and that was a big problem for me because I really wanted to see how this movie was going to play into the other movies and how we're going to go forward because I want to know what's going to happen. I mean, we wait for these movies to come out so that we know what's going to happen. We want the mystery to be unraveled as time goes on. So to me, that didn't fit well, and it kind of threw me off the movie a little bit. Now, we know in Infinity War that actions were taken and consequences happened because of those actions. This movie had actions and there were consequences, but the consequences weren't really risky. It's like, we know now that Infinity War, Marvel, Kevin Feige and everybody involved in Marvel is willing to take those risks to give us some kind of risk factor and to be darker. And we know that something's going to happen. But in this movie, it felt like everything was just so convenient, and it's like, oh, this is going to happen, it's bad, but you go with a quick fix, that's easy, yeah, we could do that. So it's like, to me, like, I understand that there is risk factor, like the reason they're doing what they're doing and everything that they're doing to do what they're doing. It's a lot of risk in the movie itself, but like at the same time, why not just, why is there always something that can go right? You know, there needs to be something that goes wrong in order for this to be a superhero movie and for me to want to enjoy the movie. So to me, that didn't really play well, especially going off Infinity War, because now I know that they'll go that far, but they did not go that far in this movie, and that kind of felt off to me. Another thing that felt off to me was the story. So to me, and I've heard this with other reviewers too, other critics, that it didn't feel like this movie really had a beginning or a middle, and it really was like beginning to end. So I agree with that. So normally in these movies we have these big fight sequences between the big bosses and the big guys. I didn't really feel that with this one. So like Thor Ragnarok, we had the fight scene with Thor and Hulk, and then we had some more fighting with Loki and Thor, and some other little fight scenes here and there. We see that with Ant-Man and the Wasp, but at the same time, it's like, it's a lot of it's based on how is Ant-Man going to save himself and save his life in order to sacrifice it and help Wasp and Michael Douglas or Hank Pym back to where they want to be with finding Michelle Pfeiffer's character. So a lot of that, it just felt like it was a lot of jumbledness, and I didn't really know where to go. So it kind of felt like a blob, like a squiggle. So like I had to start, and I was, and then it went over here, and I was like, all right, cool. This is cool. I'm gonna follow that story. This, and I was like, scroll moment. But other than that, I mean, it was tightly woven together, so it wasn't so far gone that I didn't know or I couldn't pay attention to every single storyline that was going on at the time. Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned Lawrence Fishburne, and I loved the fact that he was in here. I think he was a waste of a character. So his connection to one of the other characters that we find out later in the movie, it was surprising, and it was a shock. But he could have been so much more, and I really hope that they use him in a better way, because he can be so big in this universe, literally speaking, because he grows big. But I just really want to see him do more, because I love Lawrence Fishburne as an actor. I think he can do astounding things in this universe, and I think that he's going to be really big, and he's going to be a huge help to the Avengers eventually, and Scott Lang probably too. So I'm really hoping that they use him in a better way. And the last thing, which probably people are going to disagree with me on, but guys, Michael Pena, dude, like he's great. Okay, he's great. He's funny. He has great comedic timing, but like it doesn't fit. He can time the comedy right. It's not him. It's the script. Why do we need him in certain parts of this movie? I don't understand. Some of the nods and some of the leads, it's like, okay, that's fine. But like, why do we need to see that? So a big thing when I watch movies is that like, if I'm going to see a scene or some kind of comedy or something like that, it's going to play into the rest of the movie. So there's a part in the movie where Michael Pena goes on a rampage and he starts telling the story. But I didn't find a reason for that story to be in the movie at all. Like, why was it in there? It didn't seem like it fit there. It was just kind of there just to throw some comedy out there, which is what a lot of Guardians number 2 did. Yeah, Guardians number 2 did a lot of that. I just didn't feel like we just needed some of the plots and some of the stories, and Michael Pena could have been left out here and there. It's like, if I can see those where I can take them out and the scene's going to be the same, like, it's not needed, okay? Like, I understand that, but like, this is a Marvel movie, and we want the comedy, but we don't want it forced. We don't want it to be like, okay, here's going to be funny. What's up with the story? We're going to take a break from the movie. Okay, so it's like having a pee break in between the movie. That's a weird analogy. But anyways, going forward, I don't want Michael Pena to be in Avengers 4. Hopefully he's dusted. That sounds wrong. I don't want to see him in the movie, though. I don't think he's needed. I think Avengers 4 needs to be Avengers 4 with the superheroes and how they are going to handle Thanos and the rest of the world and save everybody that needs to be saved. So hopefully he's not in that movie. Hopefully if he is, he's there for like 2 seconds and then we can get rid of him, or he can go hide somewhere. Maybe he shrinks down, because apparently he can do that now. Other than that, everybody, it was a good movie. I did enjoy it. It's not breaking my top 10 of Marvel movies. Top 10, that's set. I don't think anything could break that until maybe Avengers 4, maybe Captain Marvel, but it's not breaking that. I do hope that this movie does well, because it's Marvel and I love everything Marvel, and I really hope that at least makes its money's worth and the budget is, the budget's good. But anyways, everybody, if you guys saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to know your opinion on the movie, because I want to know. We could talk about it, and I love talking about it. Also, thank you for hanging out with me and, hanging with me while I take my little 2-week break. Got school and a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping myself on track before I'm putting on my videos. So I don't want to put out rushed content, guys, and this might feel a little rushed here today, but I just had to get a review on this movie because it's Marvel, and I enjoyed it, and I really wanted to share with you guys what I had to say about the movie. So hope you guys did enjoy my own opinion. If I had to rate it, I'm going to rate it about 6.5 out of 10. Okay, I'll see it again. Maybe I'll change. 6.5 out of 10 is where I'm at right now after first time seeing it. So let me know what you guys think of the movie, your own opinion on the movie, your rating on the movie, and then if you guys want to follow me on social media, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at the real life with the Y. It's been a minute, and on Instagram real_life with the Y as well. Also, news change. We're changing the name. Name has been changed, guys. So Real Life Entertainment has been, it's taken, not taken, but a lot of people use that name, and I think it's just a better idea if I just change my name. So changing my name, my whole identity on this channel and in life, that's deep, to Real Life Enterprise. So ENT is still sticking around, but Enterprise just fits well for me. I like the way it sounds. Real Life Enterprise sounds great. It means I can do a lot more things than just movie reviews, even though I'm still going to just do movie reviews and trailer reactions and stuff like that. But if I wanted to, I can go and do some video game stuff. Probably won't, but you know, I have the door open now. So Real Life Enterprise is going to be my new name, guys. I already changed it on YouTube. The URL for my channel will not change because that's already created. But Real Life Enterprise is here to stay. Any other tags, any other ideas or images, any strokes I have, any effects will be Real Life Enterprise. Super excited to share what I have with you guys later on down the road. If you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you guys know when I'm posting. And of course, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy July, happy summer. Hope you guys have a great summer so far. Hope you guys have a great rest of your summer. I'll talk to you guys later. Let's go shrink down. Woo!